Hey campers, Georgia, back in the man cave. So I went to San Diego, California, right? Went to go visit my kiddos. While I was there, I thought, there's a big swap meet when I lived there. I wonder if they have any sharp and shinies. Well, the shock and horror. Let's check it out. I went to San Diego, hung out with my girls and that. And my eldest had to work, so the youngest said, what do you want to do, Dad? And I said, well, let's go to Kobe's swap meet. It used to be huge in San Diego. Well, we arrived there, and I got to tell you, the horror. It is about a tenth of what it is, and it was like people just pulled up in their pickups, backed up, and said, check it out. It was like a giant garage sale type thing. Not even giant. There weren't even that many. And I was kind of like, this is not going to work. And we started, wandering around. I had decided to go to San Diego and I wanted to try see if I could find some swap meets or garage sales or something there. And I set myself a budget. Pretty high for me, $100. Looking for some folding knives that I can restore, whatever. And wasn't holding my breath. Well, as it turns out, we started walking around and go, no, there's nothing here. And then all of a sudden, Rachel, my youngest, said, there's some knives. Looked down, and there was a bunch of knives. There were kitchen knives, your food prep, cutlery stuff. Lying amongst them was a knife that immediately caught my attention. And then I looked to the next stall, and they had knives as well. Turned out that's all that was there. But what a haul. Got him here. So we're at Kobe's. I'm here with my youngest, Rachel.
Hi.
Some of you have seen her before. We're at a swap meet, and we're thrifting for sharp and shinies. And we're starting to find them. Like that. A nice box full. We'll check it out. See here? There's a couple of boxes with this stuff in it. Gotta have a look, see. Isn't it fun? Yeah. I wonder if Kevin would want it. Not only that, family, friend came up big. So here we go. I'm going to show you what I got that was actually given to me. If you watched the video, I did a quick video just to update you all on what I did in San Diego. And while I was there, Mike, a subscriber, contacted me, said, you're going to be in California, San Diego. I'm up in Orange County area, that's kind of South LA area. And he said, you want to go fish? And I thought, you know what? I haven't fished in quite a while in surf with my fly rod. So absolutely went up there, met him, had a really good time. We just stood in the surf and fished, chatted. Good time was had. I didn't catch the shark. And Mike caught a couple of them. So then, as we were leaving, well, we were just standing there talking, and Mike said, "You know what? I got something for you." And he pulled out this guy. Look at this knife. This is awesome. I'm going to open it up for you. One of my favorite style of knives. I like this. I really like this idea. Pretty common. It's an electrician's knife. And not only that, it's one of my favorite old guy styles, colonial. Look at that. Excellent condition, beautiful knife, beautiful. I don't even, it needs a little bit of a polish. That's it. Look how nice it is. And this handle, and it's got your FDR, Local Union, 2102 USAWA, Pueblo, I don't know how to pronounce it, Colorado. Retired Members Banquet, 1977. That's what it says right on it there. You see that? And I can't remember, Mike, correct me if I get this wrong. I think you said your dad gave this to you. Something like that. Somebody gave it to you, I believe. And it's a beautiful knife. Excellent condition. You got your electrician's knife with the flat screwdriver. You got the divot here. And that's so that you can pull this out. and you got your wire stripper, and of course you got a nice big bellied blade there, which is typical for Colonial on their electricians now. So a lot of them are just a straight flat blade, and this nice big belly on it drops off. Beautiful, beautiful knife. Can't thank him enough for that. And of course, on the electrician side, it locks solid, very nice. It's got that little brass liner lock on there, which is typical for all the electrician's knives. Look at the snap on this stuff. Beautiful knife. Gonna have to make a nice little slip for it. Actually, this should be a sheath because it's a working knife, and go on your sheath. It's a bit big for a slip in your pocket. Beautiful, beautiful knife. Thank you, Mike. Much appreciated. Oh, you're on that one. And the fishing. That was great. It's been years and years since I've done that. And I used to do a lot of it down in San Diego. That's this one. Then my son-in-law said to me, yeah, you know what? I've got a knife that my grandfather gave me. I was like, oh, okay. And he gave me it. Here it is here. Old timer. Check that out. Very nice. Look at it. Beautiful little knife. Nice and beat up. Needs a lot of work. And it's got that sheep's foot on it. Very nice. And the nice thing about this, you find these all the time out there. There is a lot of them. You get all excited. You open it up. And somebody's used like a rasp to sharpen them. And the blades are just totally destroyed. This one, they all still have the original shape. Just really rusty. They're going to be pitted, but this will clean up beautiful. Beautiful little knife. And, you can see on the tang there, it says, Schrade, USA, I think it's 84 OT. So very nice. Very, very nice. Great little knife. Gonna make a slip for that. That'll be a nice prize. I think it'll turn out nice and clean. Then my niece's husband said, I was carrying a Victorian, well, actually, my Victorinox on me. And, he knows I like knives. And he goes, what are you carrying? And I said, a Victorinox. And he's like, I got one. My dad gave it to me way back when I was like 20. Well, that's 10 years for him. And he said, here it is, and gave it to me. And I said, that's really nice. That's good. He said, it's yours. Beautiful knife. There's a catch. Beautiful, beautiful knife. Excellent condition. Everything, it's a Victorinox. Nothing rusts on these things. And I'm going to open it up for you, and you can have a look at it. Now, it took me a while to find out exactly which one it was. Me and the rabbit hole with Victorinox. See that there? Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful knife. I was looking at it now, I immediately looked at the tang. You can see the tang there. But then on the other side was that. See that? And I was like, I can't find that anywhere. And then I found some info on it. This is the Swiss Army issue knife. It is issued to actual people who served in their military. When? These weren't given to the public. They were given to the military as an issue knife. Where he got it, I don't know. But wow, what a gift. Very nice. Really impressed with this guy. And beautiful, beautiful, excellent condition. Just needs to be cleaned up a little bit. Nice polish and make it look all sharp and shiny. And of course, it needs a sheath. So that's just the three that were given to me while I was in San Diego. It was like a planned, let's go get knives trip. Now, I'm not complaining. I spend a lot of time with my girls, and they laughed at me because every opportunity I kept pulling out all the knives that I had and been given and found, and were like, Dad, that's an obsession. And I was like, no, it's not. I just am obsessed with knives. So I ended up going to a swap meet with Rachel. I went to that place, and man, It turned out I got lucky. Like I said, there were all these people there, and only 2 had these knives, and they were right next to each other, and we just lucked out. And I found some of my favorites. I'm a Colonial fan. I love their knives. You can't date them, but I just like the style. And I found some others that I'd never heard of before. And of course, I found that. Look at that. Not sure what it is. I haven't looked it up yet. I'll put it up here once I do. A little beat up, but it's got everything on it except it doesn't have the tweezers, but it still had the toothpick in there. And of course, this is broken. This one has been used a lot, but it's pretty old. That tang, you'll see the tang there. There you go. So this needs to be cleaned up. I do believe I have some spare skins in my backup that might just fit this. I'm not sure because of this. Never seen this before, and I might have to modify them to fit. Maybe I can just get one from a Victorinox dealer. It has some unusual stuff on it. It's just different. Like that. See that? It says patented. Maybe they did something different, and I think it's to do with the shape of the screwdriver and the way they made the can opener. This has everything on it. It needs some work. Trying to get all the tools out without cutting myself or you. It's really stiff in there. But it does have an awl. So look at that. All of that. Very nice. So I got this. This was at the first place we found, stopped, and then we noticed the guy next door. But I got this, and I got this. See that? Weird, isn't it? Guess who makes this? Huh. It says high carbon steel on it. And on the main blade, it says Colonial. Look at this guy. It's like a hawkbill on it. Very cool. Thought it very unusual. The only real problem I had with it was, and I'll show you that, but let me pull the tools out without cutting myself. Here they are here. The problem is, if you see this, the corkscrew, they bent it on the last thing here and it sticks out. I'm going to have to pull that in and fix that, clean it up. Very excited about this. Very cool looking knife. It should have a bail because it has the holes there for the bail. So I think I can make a bail for that. Colonial. Very cool. With these. Looking around, now I have to tell you what made me look there was Rachel said, look at these knives. And I looked down and it was a bunch of cutlery. But lying amongst them was this guy. See that? Anybody know what that is? I didn't. And then I looked real close at the tang. It's a Buck 103. And yes, made in the USA. Awesome. Beautiful knife. It's a Skinner, obviously. Didn't have the sheath. I had to look it up. And I found it. I didn't find it on the Buck Knife page, but I did find it. And I have a picture of the original sheath. So, here you go. Buck 103 Skinner. Very nice, original. And I'm going to make the original sheath for it. So it'll be a very cool. This was a very cool line. I paid the most for this guy. The lady must have seen the look on my face when I saw it, because she was just sitting there. So I think, it's a good price. I paid $25 for it. So I got that one as well. And then I scratched around some more and I found, yep, another one. Colonial. Once again, I think this is Colonial. Let me just check. Yep. Look at that. Colonial fish knife. Got the badge and everything, and it has that See this handle? I've got 3 or 4 of them knives with this kind of handle, and they're not all fish knives. Very cool. I'm getting me a little collection going here with Colonial, and it'll fix up nice and clean. Works fine. The snap is there, not heavily, but I think it just needs to be cleaned, and it'll get a lot better. Very cool. Fish knife, Colonial. For those 4 with the buck, I think it was like about $70. Then I went next door, and that's where it got even more interesting. I was looking around and I saw a couple of knives. In fact, they had quite a few, but of course I see this guy and I go, that looks kind of familiarish. And I thought, you know what, if I didn't know any better, it's an electrician's knife. Yeah, look at that. And you know what? I pulled it out. There it is. It's got that flat, long, thin blade and the electrician's knife. And I looked at the tang mark, Camelus. Yeah, very cool. It says, I can't really read it. I'll have to clean it up. Here it is here so we can see it. But it's all together, kind of rusty and everything and kind of beat up. But this should shine up and clean up very nice. Another electrician starting to get a collection going of those. Very cool. And then I looked and I saw this guy was a little beat up. It's kind of got a little rust on it and everything. Opened it up and I thought, oh, it's a Browning. Huh, that's pretty cool. I know Browning, you know, they would commission people to make knives for them because they didn't do it. You know, they were gun guys. And I opened it up and I thought, that's very cool. Very, very cool. Nice little knife. Wood handle. It is wood. And then I looked at the tang and look at that. German steel. Woot! Browning. German. So that was cool. Scored there. And here's another Victoria. Look at this guy. It's all beat up, but I'm pretty sure I can clean it up. And it's in good condition. I've got spare toothpicks and things. And this is from Kendall Farms. I don't know what area code 509 is. I need to look that up. But it was one of those knives where they did advertising on. I looked at it to make sure it was reasonably real. Victorinox, Switzerland, stainless, ruster free. I don't know what that means, but I've seen that before. Here's the info. Very cool. And then I was looking there and just popped right out at me. First thing got my attention was the color of the scales. Look at this. See that? Green, right? Got a badge on it. And I was like, what is that badge? And I'm staring at it. And Rachel says to me, Girl Scouts. Whoa. Okay. So I looked closer and yeah, she was right. GS, Girl Scouts. And I thought, I wonder who made this. Is this like a Imperial or something? Opened it up. And I was like, don't know these guys. Cutmaster. Yep, it's a Cutmaster out of Florida from way back when. And it's a Girl Scout knife, which is very cool. Very, very cool. I was really excited. Something I'd never seen before. There's the Cutmaster. Didn't even know who they were. Looked them up, and there's a little bit of history. I'll give that to you. And I contacted the knife doctor, Kevin, and I said to him, you heard of these guys? And he looked and he said, Cutmaster, no, but it looks like, and he said the name, let me see if I can find it here. The name of the town these guys were in. And I thought, wow. And I looked it up. Sure enough, you know the knife doctor, right? They were originally called the name of the town. Great little knife. I love this green. Very cool. Girl Scout. Nice. Look at this. Get a bale, and this is like half the size of the knife. Beautiful. Very excited. This knife probably made me the happiest that day, even above the buck. So I dug around, and there was a lot of junk in there, a lot of, and then I found this guy. Look at that. Pretty good condition, huh? Compared to all these other ones. And this was lying in that same bundle. Same bunch. And I opened it up and I said, this is very cool. I liked it. Nice knife. And I opened it up and sure enough, cut master. Look at that. Beautiful knife. Nothing wrong with the blades. The blades are in excellent condition. You can see them here. See that? They're in really good condition. They just need to be cleaned up. This must be Delrin, the scales, and they are almost in perfect condition. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful knife. The only thing wrong with it, that somebody nailed his initials in there with a thing, and I don't know if I can get that off. And it says WC8. Can't think of what that would be. I was thinking maybe it's a military thing. Don't know. It just says WC8 on it if you look. See that? But hey, beautiful knife, cut master. So there you go. All these, that's 5 and 9 knives. Guess how much I paid total? $100. Right on my budget. I lie. It actually cost me $2. $1 for me and $1 for Rachel to get into the swap meet. So it was 102. Close enough. But there you go. My knife haul from San Diego. Very cool. Very excited. I've got lots of things to do. So hang in there. I'll be getting to these guys. I'll probably do, a couple together, or like the same make together, that sort of thing, and get them all fixed up. That'll be exciting. By the way, when I was digging in the knives there, poked myself with this guy. That's how I found it. Be careful digging in those boxes of knives. Just saying. You be safe out there. Even when you're digging around, thrifting for sharp and shinies, like these guys. I scored. I love this. If I paid too much, I had fun. I was with my daughter. We had fun looking around at, not just at the knives, at the other junk. And there was a lot of junk there. And we had a good day out there just wandering around. Beautiful day in San Diego. And I scored me some serious knives. What can I say? Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. You know the story. Gonna be back. Look at all this work I got to do. Look at all these guys. I'm so excited. I can see why people like to do this. I had fun. Went out, found it. Didn't cost me an arm and a leg. It was right on what I budgeted for. Was perfect. You know what's coming up, right? We got some work to do. Just saying. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.